All right, that's 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get rolling. We'll be conscious of everybody's time. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for another installment of the Long Coffee Break. My name is Billy Donovan, and I'm a sales engineer on the air distribution team here at Long. Today, we have the pleasure of having Glenn Gabbard with AtmosAir here to discuss indoor air quality monitoring and measurement, particularly regarding the performance validation of technologies like bipolar ionization. Welcome, Glenn. Thank you for being here, and I'll let you take it away.
Thanks much, Billy. It's a pleasure to be with all of you, and we'll get right into it. If we can get the slide to advance here, let's see. There we go. Okay. So the focus today is indoor air quality monitoring and measurement. And with that in mind, let me move right into some quick background into our history in this area. We've spent over 20 years in the Clean Air Group, which consists of two divisions, AtmosAir and Bioclimatic, of real-world installation of both what we'll discuss, the DBD tube ionization or dielectric barrier discharge, and also needlepoint ionization installations as well. I want to show you the entire portfolio for one simple reason. We take a market neutral position in working with Long and Colorado and engineering firms throughout the world, in the sense that we offer all of the common indoor air quality solutions that you might be looking for. And as importantly, we provide several different options for 24/7 monitoring, so that we can verify the results of any of these particular solutions out there. And we think that is really key, especially as we move forward in today's world. To put it another way, we want to take the invisible and make it visible. So let's get into that a little more specifically. You can see here, we're not going to have a discussion of all the various equipment. That's for a different project or topic, but I did want to give you just some visuals that relate to the overall equipment and the overall portfolio I just referenced on the previous slide. And again, the point being, I don't care what the indoor air quality solution might be for a client. We want to be able to answer the question for you and your clients: how do you know that this particular solution is working? We work in all the verticals. I mentioned 20 plus years of experience. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this. I simply want to point out, as one highlight, recently UCLA specified AtmosAir DBD ionization for all of their existing and new HVAC equipment based upon our history with them during the past couple of years. I think the rest of the resume speaks for itself in terms of the experience that we've had. I want to touch briefly on our AtmosAir DBD ionization simply because there are very specific reasons that we have installed this particular type of ionization in all of our larger projects during the past 20 years. And let me just summarize this quickly. First off, we have in the tubes a plasma delivery system. We alternate the positive and the negative ions, and as a result, our ion life is 5 minutes in this particular system, which allows us to work in larger spaces. In addition to that, the tubes are very low maintenance. They have an average life of over 2 to 2.5 years. They screw in and screw out like a light bulb. They're composite, etc. As we move into what you look for with ionization when it's installed, there's three things. One would be to reduce particles. And what we do with the positive and the negative ions is we take the smaller particles, we agglomerate them, we make them larger, we increase the effectiveness of your filtration, and those that are not caught in the filters fall to the floor, can be taken out with housekeeping. With respect to TVOCs, odors and volatile organic compounds, the impact of the ionization is to break down the hydrocarbon chains, reducing these complex compounds into immeasurable levels of carbon dioxide and water. But also, one of the other key factors in using the AtmosAir tube ionization, as opposed to what is a very durable needlepoint product that we have as well, is our delivery system. This is electronic disinfection. We deliver at 12.6 volts. As a result, we are able to ionize oxygen. We're able to create the hydroxyls that, when it comes to airborne viruses, pull the hydrogen out and render them harmless. The needlepoint systems, all of them, deliver at 12.5 or less, do not have the same capability. And so again, needlepoint effective in smaller spaces, but wanted to make that distinction. Again, it all comes down to measurement, verification, and control. How do we know the ionization installation is successful? How do we know any indoor air quality installation is successful? We have two ways of monitoring this 24/7. One is our Atmos Smart system, which is in its second generation. It's installed in the exhaust of any building. It can be installed as a standalone 24/7 granular monitor, or it can be installed connected to the building management system. And in that instance, in combination with an AtmosAir ionization installation, it can control up to 8 units and 24/7 control the ionization levels of those units. We measure 10 parameters of indoor air quality, and that would include things like formaldehyde, ozone, in addition, of course, to particles, TVOCs, and the like. Our communication, LTE cellular gateway, allows wireless communication. We have long-range communication, which is enabled via LoRa, and I've already touched on our ability to control the various units. I can tell you that right now we have Atmos Smart installed in locations like the Richmond Airport, LAX Airport, Empire State Building. Most recently, one of my projects that we completed was the Atlantis Casino, as some quick examples of that. We have a second level of monitoring, AtmosAware and AtmosAware Mini. I kind of refer to this as the smart thermostat version of indoor air quality monitoring. It's a very good system. It either has a display or not. Even with the AtmosAware, there's a lockbox if your owner prefers to look at the data for a period of time before the general public can see it. It can also be used as a standalone unit. The AtmosAware Mini without the display is a little cheaper for the client, but they're both very effective. They have 6 parameters that they measure, including, of course, particles and TVOCs, carbon monoxide, and there's an overall index, as you can see on the right, that kind of like a stoplight is green, yellow, or red, giving an overall indoor air quality index. This is all part of what we refer to as our Clean Air Group Healthy Air as a Service platform. So what we're providing is all-in-one equipment installation, monitoring, maintenance, and service. The user can access their indoor air quality data and control devices from any internet-connected device. There's web mobile app views for indoor air quality data and device administration. And they can manage their connections so that they can have device alerts and export data reports. So device alerts for your facilities, for your engineering staff, to be able to properly monitor the indoor air quality and be alerted to any issues that might occur, for instance, from the recent wildfires that you experienced last week. This is another innovation. This is a lobby monitor. As you can see here, real-time air quality when someone walks into a building, measured in terms of compared to the outside air quality, in terms of TVOCs, in terms of particles and the like. Another example of this, we recently installed the Turner Construction National Headquarters in New York. Just another variation of the same theme. Testing and data is critical. So we have made great strides with ASHRAE. You may be aware, and we can get this as a follow-up, that right now there are new standards driven by the Biden administration because of the elimination of the mask requirement, where bipolar ionization is included as part of those standards. Pending comment right now, but you can see the other new standards that relate to bipolar ionization. In addition, last year was the first ASHRAE funded study of bipolar ionization. It included AtmosAir DBD ionization. You can see it was it compared the effectiveness of both needlepoint and bipolar ionization in wildfire smoke protection compared to UV or UV plus filters. Two major conclusions here of note. One, that both bipolar ionizations were more effective in controlling the particles and the smoke from wildfires than UV or UV plus filters. And secondly, with respect to AtmosAir DBD, that when combined with the MERV 13 filter, it actually provided HEPA level filtration. We have a number of engineering studies. I highlight only one that relates to the New Rochelle school system. Guth DeConzo Consulting did an extensive pre-qualification before AtmosAir DBD ionization was selected for installation in the entire school system. And the pre and the post results, again, were extremely favorable. We can provide that report along with Cosentini and a number of other engineering reports that have been done. Safety is always critical. So ozone is always a question that comes up. Both of our ionization systems, UL 2998 and UL 867, zero ozone issue. And in fact, we have case studies, proof of concept, where we've come into buildings that have had a certain level of ozone. And once the installation of the AtmosAir DBD ionization has occurred, we've reduced and eliminated any ozone issue within the building. Sustainability is also a factor. And with respect to sustainability, one of the things that our Long colleagues can provide to you that I really want to stress is an input sheet and an ASHRAE 62.1 calculation sheet. We are working on a number of new construction and retrofit projects where the installation of AtmosAir has allowed us to work with the engineering firms to be able to reduce sometimes the amount of HVAC equipment required, also reduce the amount of outside air that has to be in to be reconditioned. I really encourage you to make sure you follow up with your Long reps, make sure that they get you those two spreadsheets. We have outside consultants along with our own internal engineers that we use for those calculations. There also are some CapEx benefits and OpEx benefits that we've seen as well. We can discuss that in more detail. This is an example of the sheet. I also want to stress to you that from a pre and post testing standpoint, as we wrap things up and move to the next slides, that we also can take this to another level. We use Gray Wolf and we can do very granular pre and post testing for specific IAQ issues. And we also work with independent firms as well. So in addition to our monitoring and verification, we can really customize this process to the particular needs of your clients. With that, I appreciate your time. Let me turn things back over to you, Billy.
Thank you, Glenn, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you have any questions on AtmosAir or even Bioclimatic's product offerings, please don't hesitate at all to reach out to your Long sales engineer. Please join us next week for an introduction on the DL series adiabatic humidifier with Con Air, and I'll be hosted by Bill Roan. Thank you very much.